Okay guys, welcome back to the Elite Division race of the Aussie Racing League. Now as we can see at the start here, it's 5 lights and away we go. So, not the best of starts, but we are able to, we lose position to Apex, but then I think we gain one on CGM into the first braking zone. So, nice and tidy through there. Crush, cutting the track and gaining 2 positions, or like a madman. But we're not the best start, not the worst one. We've managed to stay in the same position. Just defending against Dalek now. We don't want him to come sneak back out inside, so just taking the middle line, making sure he can't dive anywhere, can't take us. And I'm just going to be nice and steady on the throttle through the first corner, making sure that we don't spin, making sure we don't mess up our race in the first lap. There's 27 laps of this, and it is interchangeable conditions. So it's starting, should be drier by the end of the race. So we're just hoping that running this dry setup, even with probably a little too much downforce, we can make something work here. So first lap, just staying nice and steady, trying to keep up with Spliff here. He's someone who I'm trying to keep up with right now. Started next to each other, and we'll see each other a lot during this race. Just making sure that we stay next to each other, that I can follow him through the corners and gain on him through the corners while I lose on the straights, making sure that I'm within that slipstream zone, so I'm not too worried about behind. Now Kebab, although he did start very far back, he's already up nearly into P12. He's someone that we've got to look out for, along with Crush and Apex and Val. Those are some of the guys I was racing, or trying to at least, as we see there's contact here in this corner, and that allowed Kebab to get past Dalek and get right up in front of me due to that incident. So I'm not going to fight him, I'm just going to let him go. He's going to go through, and I'm just going to follow him. But he's running a wetter setup than me, so I should be able to gain somewhat during the corners. And just nice and easy on the power, making sure there's no wheel spin, as you could see him do. He's managed to get past Spliff, and I'm like, thank you very much. I'm going to go down Spliff's inside here. He's going to leave room, and I'm going to try and go around the outside of this next corner, and down into the 90-degree right. Very close, but he managed to get in front, pulls right ahead. There's a millimeter between our collision models right there, and I'm thinking I can get him here on the straight, but a little bit of oversteer ruins that plan, and then his straight line speed will carry him away, so almost impossible to try and stay with him there. Into the chicane, we can see gaining quite a bit on the braking zones, and then with the acceleration out of corners, a bit wide there, not a bit of understeer in that corner. Here into the sharp loopy right hander, we see Kebab having a moment, then having a bigger moment on the exit. He's spun round, and he'll have to deal with that a little bit. So we are now back in P11 where we started. Nice and easy. As coming down here, we have a big snap of oversteer, barely keeping it on the track, right up into the pit lane actually. And it was just telling me I needed to be a bit more cautious there, as it was still raining, it was still getting heavier, or it definitely wasn't getting lighter from when I last pushed there. And I'm skipping forward a couple laps, staying the same position for quite a while, so not much really there. Lap 7 now. Stay in position, we're just trying to keep in the Spliff, and lap 8 here. I forget what happens here, I'm not sure if not too sure what happens. But as you can see, we're following very close behind, and we're just going to get out of the exit of that corner, try and follow him as close as we can. As we are into P10 now, because Ecam has pitted. So he pitted for the intermediate tyre, which seems to be working for him, and after the loopy right hand, you can see losing the rear, and it just becomes unsavable there, little spin turn, and we're going to push ourselves right back onto the track, avoiding Kebab and Kato as we continue with our race now. So the rain has gotten lighter, as Mark was saying during the race, but also a little bit more oversteer there. But there's a lot of people pitting Zakov into the pits. He is an incredibly fast driver, definitely someone that we're trying to look out for, trying to match our pace with at the end of the season. But yeah, as you can see, losing a lot of time there due to that spin and that issue. But there's no standing water on the track, because these wets aren't really doing as well as they should be. And as we can see here, coming into the pit lane, I'm just trying to not get a penalty, as the France pit lane is really bad, but I end up getting one anyway. It doesn't matter what you do in that pit lane, so it's like a 75 to 25% chance that you get a penalty there. So I'd rather take my odds. And Kebab is also into the pits with me. Kato stays out, and we'll be able to see just what happens to Kato at the end of this. So we're double stacking, me and my teammate Frozzle. Just a nice quick pit stop, and we're going to keep pushing at the end of this lap, or towards the end of the lap. The intermediates already feeling a lot better, a lot more grip, able to put the power down a little bit better, and just able to go through the corners generally faster than those wets that we had on. Like 12 coming through this corner, we're having a big moment here, able to save the car and quickly get back on the power, not lose as much time. But we've got a 4-second lap to Kebab, and that's going to about stay that way. And then here on lap 14, we have got a safety car. Our teammate has crashed out of the race. I asked him what happened. He lost the car, and then while rejoining the track, he lost it again, hit the wall. I think so. Anyway, we have got a safety car now. So now, on that restart now, we just want to make sure those tyres are a bit warm. So down to turn 1, we're going to brake nice and early, make sure we keep that car under control. Just trying to keep up with Lemon here, as we know we are faster than him. And at this point in time, it's stopped raining essentially, so it's nearly time for the soft tyres or medium tyres to be bolted on, depending on what you want. But a mix of tyre choice will happen, because softs normally won't last this amount of time. And we can see they're too wide through there at the point, because too wide through that corner. Kebab and Spliff, I think, going at it a little bit. Just trying to follow Lemon here. He does have the better straight line speed than me, but with the better downforce, we should be able to make up some time. Lap 19 now. We can see gaining a lot of time through there, and just blocking our line. Not able to get through. Not much we can do there. But as you can see, look at how dry this track is. And coming into the end of the lap, you can see that we're slowing down or getting ready to pit. No warning for that one, so I'm not too sure. But as we can see, pit limiter is on. And we are into the pits. Now there's a car in the first group that comes out, and it actually made us slow down, which is very annoying, because I could have gotten in front of a couple of people because of that. As you can see, Spliff actually got in front of us, possibly because we had to slow down in that pit lane then, which is incredibly annoying. The wheel spin on these softs as they're very cold, 70 degrees, so we've got to try and warm them up to temperature, trying to get them nice and tidy through this lap, trying to make them last. Now, a lot of people in front did choose the medium tyre, but I felt I had a big gamble to make if I wanted a couple of points, so I thought it was worth going for the softs, as they'd eventually degrade into the medium tyre pace towards the end, and I could make sure I kept it there, kept it nice and tidy, which I tried doing. You can see very dry, almost no water on the actual tarmac now. And, I believe DRS actually was enabled this lap as we went into the pit lane. So as you can see, gaining on Spliff, but he's just running very much lower wings. I'm running 20-20 because I didn't want as much oversteer. My normal, I think, was 14-14, which I probably could have ran. As you can see, looking up the inside of Spliff here, he's got more straight line speed, still got a lift through that corner. And we're going to have a little look down his inside there, just forcing a little bit wide there, making sure he knows that we're here and that we're ready to attack him when we want. But then Gares able to come through as we suddenly drift wide through that corner. Not too fussed about fighting him. I was thinking to follow him through these next couple of corners, see what he does. As there's still a lot of laps left. As you can see, Kato has actually boxed this lap, boxing a lap later than most of us, and we are going to come out in front of him. We should do, just at the end of that pit lane, and JJ as well, to double stack from the Alfa Romeos. We're back into P11. Apex out in the pits, comes out right in front of us. Gares and Spliff managing to get in fast. I'm not wanting to sit behind him on those cold tyres. Don't have much ERS left, so we're pushing. We're going to dive down his inside here, get the move done, and then we're going to continue on into the right-hander, following Gares, trying to stay within that DRS range, making sure that we can continue on with what we're doing. Now, as you can see, we have gained a little bit to Gares in a lap, but we are running low on ERS. Apex takes us down the inside, big lockup, going wide, and he blocks off the switchback, keeping it nice and slow on the Apex. It's funny because his name is Apex, but we're going to try and now follow him. We're going to stick behind, not going to bother fighting, thinking he'll make a mistake, and we'll just follow for a couple of laps, see what we can do, see what they do. Very, very up close and personal here through these corners. Much faster with the downforce, but then on that straight line speed, just losing it all to the cars ahead. DRS activated now, so we're going to make sure we follow nice and closely as Apex and Gares here. They're getting very close to each other, and we can see Gares looking at a move on Spliff, but is unable to complete it. Apex getting a really good run there, forcing Gares, forcing him to the outside. I'm watching this and I'm thinking there's going to be a collision between these two. Gares moving back over and pushing into that racing line, and then they drift over and have contact between the two drivers there. Big collisions, no DNF, so no safety car from that one. So we just got to continue racing here, and we are now in 9th position, the position we wanted to be in from the start. And we now got to follow Spliff, as there is a big queue up in front that we can try and catch up to within these remaining couple of laps. Actually being spun round there by Dutchy, and is come back onto the track in front of us. Spliff has got the DRS from him, so not going to be able to try anything here. But now we've got a possible contention for 8th place here as Kebab, as we're trying to follow down Kebab and the group in front, because P5 to P4, big contact there from Spliff and Kebab. But all the way from P4 to P9 to P11, sorry, we're all very, very close to each other, as you can see by that. And actually hitting Spliff there, he's braking and accelerating and braking again. No damage for either of us. Going to talk about it after the race. He didn't even feel anything, so it's all chill between us. He wasn't. He just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to hit Kebab. Now the clouds disappearing, the light coming out, and just nice and close to Spliff. Lap 24. Ekan's catching up within 1.2 seconds. Sorry, and he's gaining and gaining. Now Spliff and Kebab here. Late move from Spliff as he goes down the inside, keeping it nice and clean. But Kebab's able to keep it around the outside without getting a warning. And Kebab's going to stay in front. And as you can see, we've caught up to that group in front now. Kebab nearly within a second of Val and Crush. So it's really important that we keep working together here to catch up to that group in front to try and maximize our points in this race. 2 laps remaining now. It's going to be very hard to try and get past in these final few laps. We've had about 10% ERS for these last 5, so not much to work off of here. Very, very little as we head now onto the DRS straight, where you can see Kebab's rear red light flashing as Spliff is going to open up that rear wing. He's going to follow behind Kebab. We're just going to try and hope for something to happen between these two, but no, they go through cleanly. Kebab still flashing as he's going to try again on Spliff. Little shaky exit, and Spliff with that straight line speed is unable to be contended with as they cruise down now for the next couple of corners. You can see all those cars in front very close to each other, and we are now coming down to 1 lap of racing to go. The final lap, we've got to make sure that we keep it above us as Ekim has joined the fray. He's 9 tenths behind us, sorry, and he is ready to make some destruction and wreak some havoc here. Big moment there as we touch the curb. Ekim gaining time, as you can see in the mirrors, but with our straight line speed, he's running a lot more downforce on us, so we can just get away from him, and we can continue on down into turn 1 and 2, making sure we gain that time up on Kebab here. We're going to try and get past him as quick as we can. We want that P8 and foul with a 13-second time penalty as well. We want to make sure that we can try and get that P8 by being in front. Don't want to lose that to Ekim either. Following Kebab now, we're getting nice and close. Using all of our battery, 2% remaining right here. Back into the braking zone. Touch that curb. Try and get a good exit. We're right up and close, but Kebab getting a big moment over to the side. And we're going to pull down the outside of the next corner. He's moving over on us. We do make a little bit of contact there. And into this corner, you can see Ekim's joined the fray. He's come up behind. He's going to make it 3 wide. I have no clue Ekim's there. And sadly, we make contact. Ekim has spun. But we are able to keep it nice and clean with Kebab. And we are able to get in front into the next corner. Kebab is not done. He is pushing hard, as you can see in our left wing mirror. He's moved to the inside of this next corner. Can we keep it around the outside? He's got the smaller line, but we've got the bigger power. And big contact from up in front. 4-car crash almost from those guys, as Dutchy just made way for himself on Spliff. And we are able to finish in P8. As you can see there now with that, you can just see that we are able to get 4 points. That is without penalties being removed or added. So this will be updated for the next race as we get the series results. But anyway, good race, and I will see you all next week or for my other league races. Thank you so much for watching.